Hello guys, welcome to episode 2 of the backtesting series. So in this video I will be covering GBPUSD, and as we all know, the rules of this particular episode is we are taking just 5 trades maximum, and the time limit is going to be an hour, so this video doesn't get extremely long. We are swing trading, so setups might be difficult to come through. If we're able to get 5 setups within, let's say, 10, 20, or 30 minutes, the video will be over. Or if we don't get up to 5 setup within the 1 hour mark, then we still cut the video, and that means we didn't get any setup for the series. So the last series we only had one trade, which was a break-even trade. That was basically it. So in this video we are backtesting GBPUSD. So let's get straight into it. First thing I want to do is to bring in my tracking tool here, where I keep track of all the trades that I'm taking. If I place this here and then apply text, sorry, where is that? I don't think it's attached to the monthly, so I'll go ahead and make that visible on the monthly. So daily, weekly, monthly, all visible. So yeah, this is the tool we're going to be using to track our trades, and let's get straight into it. So first and foremost, we mark out our levels on the monthly. Oh, sorry. So firstly, I'm going to set the bar replay. So I'm going to do a random bar replay as usual. So this shows you that we are not taking trades from areas that we already know what price have done. So this back to 2002, which I don't think is nice. So I'm going to still refresh that. I'm looking at something around 2000 from 2010 upwards, not 2002 or lower. Right. So here we have 2015 August the 3rd, and then we are heading into September of 2015. So I think this candle is still in play. So that means we are going to be playing this candle based off the um, information we're getting from here and anything behind that. So what do we see? Here I can see that price is on a reversal play, right? Because we're coming off this particular level on the monthly. So I'll set that to monthly. So if we were already active before this monthly starts, so we'll be looking to sell from here. And you can see price is already dropping. So now what we are going to do is to still play that to the downside till this monthly candle is closed. So if the monthly candle closed anywhere within how it is now, we are strongly bearish, and we are still going to continue this bearish momentum to the downside. Going into the weekly, let me check and be sure that we enter when we enter a new month. So I'll place this on first. This starts on 1st September, so I'll place that on 1st September, and then into the weekly, we can already see that okay, yeah, this particular month is done, and we are now entering into 1st of September. Let me still check the daily if that's still correct. So we have Friday 28, 29. Yeah, so that's correct. We are now entering into a new month, and we are totally bearish on the month that is coming in. So I'm looking for sell, which is our why. Remember what I said, our strategy does um mostly with why, when, and then where. So the why is derived from the monthly. So why are we going with the particular bias we're going with? And then the where comes from the weekly. So where are we looking to start um looking for a trade, right? And then the when is coming on the daily. I'll just delete all these news events here. Okay, so now for our when is we are looking to sell at the opening of this price, right? So once price open, there is no particular area that we're looking for price to first run into before we can sell. So we are looking to sell now, right? So these are when, and then our where is going to be on the daily. So where are we looking to start selling, right? On the daily, that's what we are going to look at. And then again, what I can see here on the weekly is that we have an engulfing candle. So you can see this candle price have taken out both the highs and the low and close very strong as an engulfing candle. So I'm looking for that momentum to still continue. But I'm looking to play this with a particular strategy, which is the engulfing strategy that I learned from Tom Dante, right? So I'm going to look for the low pre-break within this particular candle for me to sell, and I will target a particular level on the daily depending on when we come into that level, right? So this could potentially be our first trade of the week. If I then go into the daily to see potentially where we can go in and start to look for trades. So on the daily, I have this. Right, that is that okay? So no, so daily I have this level. When I'm taking this level is that we had this support and we have price failed to go through that level, and then price failed to go through that level again before we broke the level. So I'm looking for price to retrace into that level before we can sell. Any other level that I would be interested in selling on the daily could be this one, right? So this is going to come in as an early, potentially early setup or an early trade. I will take that low as well, right? So why I'm taking this low is because this is the um lowest swing point is made before price pulled back, and then price failed to take other swing points here as well again. So that particular area is very, 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 very important for us. So this and that, they are both important for me right now. I'm looking to sell this on an early short opportunity, but this is going to be the main one. So if I drag my fib from highs to low on this, so you can see the fib is also aligning perfectly with this. So this is the area I'm looking to sell most likely, right? Then if I go down to my entry time frame, which is the 4 hour time frame, where am I looking to now enter this trade? So for this particular setup here, I'll go for the last low pre breakdown of this structural level. All right, so this is the structural level there, and the last low price made before breaking down is this, right? So that's where I'm going to place my sell limits for this particular week. So if this sell limit doesn't come in within this week, it's no longer valid for me, right? So I'll be looking out for that. I'm going to go in with the limit order here, and my stop loss is going to be above this fib level, and we need to ensure that this is the low that prices that this is the reversal low. If this is not the reversal low, then we have to adjust our fib, and that's our break of structure there, and this is our first candle. So let's play it on. The price just continues to drop into Tuesday, right? So we are into Tuesday now, and price is continuing to drop. Also remember that the daily levels that we have provided here is also important for potential sell, right? So this is also important for potential sell off here, and we are going to be paying attention to that as well. So if I go into the daily just to see where price is at the moment, what I can see here is that price have already made a solid push to the downside, right? So it's looking like it might not get back up to this point. So we're looking to still play that on and work with those particular levels that the price is showing. So you can see now we are breaking this particular daily swing low. So a solid breakdown of that daily swing low. I'm now looking for potential retest of this low using the moving average entry criteria just for me to be able to sell. I'll remove this because it's no longer needed. I've used that for what it's intended. So if I'm selling from that level, I'm going to be targeting here. This could potentially be our first trade of the week if it comes through. So I'll toggle on the moving average. What I'm just looking for is for price to hit this moving average, also hitting this level and giving me a solid bearish confirmation that we want to sell. So that could have been an entry for me, but it didn't actually hit this moving average. So it's not an entry. And also price is ranging between this candle and that candle. So you should stay clear out of this. And this is already coming to the end of Wednesday, right? So the weekly candle is all already into the midpoint of the week. So we are getting to like the close of the week. So possibly it might be a week where we don't have any trade to take. So let's still play that on and see what happens. So we're into a new day already. So let's check that out. How did this day candle close? So yesterday candle close pretty much indecisive. So I won't be looking to trade anything on this particular candle. Let's just play that candle on to the end of the day. Right, so that closes quite bearish. So you can see the price is just slowly moving down, right, from Monday into Tuesday. The price is just slowly moving down into our potential target area. 5350. I'm just trying to look at something here. Because you have 5350, you have 5400 above there. So price actually broke through 5400, but 5350 is actually the reference point here. And if I go to the 4 hour and look at that particular play there, right, so you can see what happened there. Price actually hit the moving average into 550 on Tuesday and then rolled over here. So that could have been an entry, but I didn't see that. All right, I didn't see that. So I'm not going to go back and say, okay, I'm entering. I should have entered here. All right, I didn't see that on the place, so I'm not going to take it. But what I'm seeing at this particular moment is our price is still bearish into the close of Thursday. So can we possibly or potentially get an entry to end the week? So let's see if there is a potential entry for us, a possible entry for us. So here we have this low, price still held that low, held that low here, and held that low here as well. So this is a very strong area of support, which is now it's looking like this area is being broken here, right? So we're breaking that area of support. Can we stay below this area for a continued sell option into this area? So still playing that moving average setup trades. Price went ahead to hit our target, right? So price hit our target. So let's say we were very vigilant of this particular trade on Monday, and we have entered this with a stop loss there. That would have been the one to, let's say I'll just put it as 1 to 2 hour, right? So I'll put it at 1 to 2 hour, but we didn't get that. So let's play on. So the weekly continued bearish. What are we expecting for the following week? We are still expecting price to continue this bearish momentum to the downside, right? Because that's what the monthly is telling us. So if you look at the monthly, where are we looking to potentially reverse this entire move? So we are looking to reversing this entire move if price comes into this level, right? Because this is a support level that haven't been broken. So if price hit that level, we are expecting price to still roll back to the upside. That's what I'm expecting for the monthly. If you're looking to change my bias from sell to buy, so back into the weekly again. So I'm a seller till price hit this level. And you see the daily, where are we looking to trade? So remember the engulfing I told you about on the weekly, which is no longer valid anymore. Right. So that's why I'm removing all of this level. So where am I looking to work with on the weekly? Sorry, on the daily. So on the daily, we have this level here and we have broken that level, right? So a retest of that level is very, very crucial as well for me to start selling. And also here, a retest of that level as well is still very much important for me to start selling as well. And I will look at potential round numbers where price can work with. So there's no round number that price is working with for this particular price action. So I'm expecting here or here to sell. And if I'm selling from anywhere within the levels that I marked out, my target is going to be here. So if price pulls back and I enter a sell, this will be my target, and this will also be another target here. So let's play that on. Play. Just press play. The price is now hitting this level at peace. I'm looking for a potential sell option there for me. So, and a sell option that I'm looking for is either an engulfing or a shooting star. So here you can see price hit this level, but then it gave us this particular candle here that looks like a shooting star, but it's not a shooting star because this candle here, the volume in this candle is nothing compared to this, right? So this volume doesn't actually override this. So that's why it's not a valid setup for me. 13, and then we're getting into a new day. So now we're getting into a new day, which means that this particular level is no longer valid for us for the next day. Why? Because price have closed back above that level. It's going to only be valid for us if price on this particular day manage to run back below that level. So then we can look for a retest and continuation to the downside. So for now, the um, important level for us now is this one, right? So this level is an important level for us as well, also. So here, I'm also going to keep this level in mind, right? Because no, I'm not going to keep that in mind. There are too many levels there, so I'll just stick to this one because that's the major one. So his play. So we're now into that area, and price ended up blasting through that area. And this is 1 a.m. And we can also still look for potential sell here, right, into that area as well, because price is still very much in that particular range, right? So this run up here can still be countered very soon, and price can still come back below this. So we keep that also in mind and look for entries possibly from here, right? Wait, that's my that's an option for me to go. That should be an option for me to go in and sell. Right. I should possibly be in this. If I can go back to this, I should possibly be in this trade, right? I should possibly be in this particular trade for a sell here because this is resistance area and we are above this level. So we're looking at price to come back below this level. But then why am I not going to sell this, right? Why am I not going to sell this? It's simple because here you can see this is the last 4 hour candle of the day, and how possible it is for this 4 hour candle to close back below this because our our reasoning for holding this trade right into tomorrow is going to be that if we get a 4 hour candle close, sorry, daily this daily candle close back below this, then is going to be a valid trade for us. So given that we have 4 hour left to close, and that is actually 13 o'clock, which is coming into like the end of the day, do we have that strength or that momentum to close back down below this, which is no. So that for that reason, I will not be taking that trade. If this has happened, let's say here on this candle, which is 5 o'clock, or even one, I will be very, very, very happy to enter this trade and sell. Right? I'll be very happy to enter this trade and sell. And then as you can see, what happens is that price ended up taking that level out, and that this is the end of the day, right? So this is the end of the day, and then what we can now look for. So this is Tuesday. And what we can now look for on Wednesday, because this level as well is gone. What we can now look for on Wednesday is for price to come into this level for a potential setup to sell. And also this level can become valid again if we manage to close below it. So I'll go high in the 4 hour time frame. So what I'm looking for is for price to hit this level, right? If you can't hit this level and start selling, then it's still not valid for me to go in and sell. That level is very, very crucial for anything that I'm going to do next. So a sell option there is going to be this, right? Or even this one based on how price is reacting to it. So let's press play. All right, so we get price closing above that level and retesting it. And then another candle here engulfing. So price is now coming down, but we have no interest in what price is doing now because it didn't come into our level at all. So there's no interest in that. And the daily is coming to an end here. Boom. So that's the end of the day. So end of the day there, and we didn't get into the level we're looking for price to get into. So we still watch price for the next day and see what happens. So on to the next day, we are still looking for price to get into that level before we can start to sell. And this level right here is no longer valid at all for us. Let me go ahead and press play. You can see price hit that level. Right, so we hit that level at 5. So this might probably be news. Hitting that level at 5, and here we have. I'll use this. So we have a solid area here for our resistance level, and I will be going in there to sell this. I so sell there, put my stop loss here, and we have about 2 hours, 2 4 hour candle left for this particular day to close, and we are hoping for price to stay below this area. So let's press play. So we get stopped out. So that would be outcome of trade number one, right? So outcome is going to be plus and -1. So the first trade that we are taking, we lost that trade. Very, very, very good trade for us because price hit our level and also stayed below this. So it hit our level, stayed within the resistance level option that we have, and also the momentum that came in from this particular shooting star overrides this particular one, this particular bullish move here, which is very, very evident. And now price has already closed above this thing or this level on the daily, right? So the momentum here is very, very strong. The momentum is very, very strong, to be honest with you. And yeah, so this is Thursday and Friday. We sorry, my mic fell. My mic failed. So on Friday we are now looking to. This is actually the last result, right? So the last result for us for a potential sell-off on this weekly, and we look for that to come in on Friday. So if we go in on the 4 hour time frame, and we are expecting potential sell from so I'm looking for a very solid support level there. So yeah, this one. So this is the initial support level that price created. Support, 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 support as well. So now we are now coming in as resistance, resistance. So if price can show me a very strong momentum from this area, I will be happy to sell. Right, I will be happy to sell that. So let's go ahead and play into the next day. So that's probably it for the week. And price didn't hit that level. So that going back into the weekly time frame, and what do we see on the, excuse me. So what can we see on the weekly time frame? So what I see on the weekly time frame is that we now have price after we have broken this level, right? This is a very strong structural level. So we broke through that structural level, and the next candle here we reversed back above that structural level. So that means that this particular price movement here is not able to break structure for us, right? So it's not able to break structure. That means it's still very much in the side of the bulls, right? So the bears have tried to sweep this level, right? We have swept that level, but we couldn't continue. The bulls came back and brought price back above that level. So what I'm not looking for is for price to continue to the upside for the next week, for the next coming week. So if price continues to the upside for the next coming week, and after that week it doesn't give us any strong um like strong reasoning to continue this price movement to the upside to take out this level, then we are going to sell this using a fib retracement move from up to down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to plot the fib here, right? So I'm actually going to plot that fib here. Why am I plotting this fib is because we are strongly bearish on the monthly, right? And we are having this retracement here. So this retracement is probably going to run into this fib, and then we are going to drop, right? Because I've already explained reasons why we are looking for that to happen. Bearish monthly, and then we are looking to run into fib after we have already failed to stay below this area. So I'm looking for that push to the highs and then a drop. So going into the daily for the new week, I'm also seeing an engulfing, a strong engulfing on the weekly here as well. So a strong engulfing here. Can we get a low pre-break setup here to continue that buy to the upside? I'll just go ahead and delete this because it's not needed anymore. So what I'm seeing on the daily here is that price is strongly bullish, right? So we are strongly bullish to the upside, and we are having this engulfing here. So this is a strong engulfing here, and I'm looking for price to potentially use that engulfing setup to continue higher, and then hit this fib level into one of our daily levels here, so we can start to roll over. So I'm still maintaining this daily level here, right? So I'm still maintaining this daily level for my potential sell. So now looking to buy this engulfing, right? So any daily level that is important to us there, no, there is no important daily level there. So where am I looking to buy for this engulfing? If I take this fib from here to here, right? So if I'm looking for an engulfing setup on the daily, I use the 4 hour for my fib, and if I'm looking for engulfing setup on the weekly, I use the um actually use the daily for my fib, right? So here what we see is we have this structural level here, this swing high, right? So price broke that swing high, and we have the last low breakout of that. So this is it, and this is where we're looking to enter our trade. Also, if we look lower, where do we have a potential a potential round number or a daily level. So we have a round number here, which is 1.5400. So that's a very strong level there. You can see price also reacted from that level in the past. So I'm looking to go in on that level. So 5400 is my entry, and my stop loss is going to be here, right? Stop loss there, and then the target for this is going to be this fib, because that's the only area that's we have a potential daily level. So let's play that. Remember, we already have one loss for the day. Sorry, one loss for this particular episode. So we're still looking at that. The losses doesn't matter as long as we are doing the right things, we are taking the right trades. So now we have an entry here at 789. We are currently in profits. So I'm keeping an eye on this for the close of the day. So yeah, the daily candle have closed here at 17 here. Right, so let's look at that day and how it closed. So what you can see here is that price closed as a doji candle, right? So closing as a doji candle is telling us that price is actually indecisive. So for that reason, I'm going to move my stop loss to break even on the trade. So in case if price decides to um, play this indecisive movement to the downside, we don't actually get stopped out of our position there before it start doing anything it wants to do, right? So you might decide to go up or you might decide to go down. So you just have to be safe first. Very strong closure on the 4 hour there as well. So what I'm going to do is that I'll just take um my stop loss and move it to this level, right? So I'll move it to the fib level in case price decides to come down low to that level. So that's where my stop loss is going to be. My stop loss is going to be here, right? And then I'll play this one. Let's see what happens in the new day. Share section ranging, range, and we are looking for that breakout of this high. So that's break even for us. Okay, the price came back and took us out. So I'm going to set that to break even, right? BE. So why am I setting this to break even? Um even though I said okay, I'll set my stop loss say in case price pushes down into my entry, it doesn't hit the fib. So I'm setting this break even. Why? Because after price had this strong momentum push the downside, right? So after this push the downside, price also came in with a strong momentum to push the upside and also broke all of these structural points. So after breaking these structural points, if price starts to come lower and take out this level, there is a very very strong likelihood that it's going to take us out, right? So this is but actually what I'm thinking when I'm if I'm taking this trade on like live market where things are slow, because this is actually a replay mode. See, I'm just playing everything fast, right? So I might not actually think about every single scenario here. Okay, so I will be moving my stop loss to break even here, given that this low has already been put in. So you can see higher low, higher low. If price starts to break this low to make a lower high, all right, or sorry, a lower low, that means is no longer maintaining structure here. So this is a break even trade. So that's the second trade of this episode, which is a break even. So now I have a break even and we have one loss. The price is currently coming into the end of the day. Right, coming into the end of the day. So just go to the daily and see what's up there. And yeah, I'll just play this 4 hour candle the end, so we know that the daily is closed. Right, so we have close of the day there. And with this, we can say price has now retraced very strongly, right? So we have that strong retracement, and we have retraced onto this particular daily low there. This is the daily low that pushed price up to this point, and now we have that daily low being retested here. So what I'm looking for is for price to reverse from this level back to the upside, right? Reverse from this level back to the. It would have been even more better if price closed above this level, but this level is still valid because that's the swing low. I'm looking for price to reverse from there. But then if I'm looking for price to reverse from there, I am now very much looking for this particular high as my target, right? So I'm looking for this high as my target based on the fact that this high is the structural high. So if price comes back to this level, it might still reverse. So I will just be looking for that break and then a retest continuation buys to my fib level. Let's see if price ends up giving us an option to take any trades here, and that could potentially come from this area or this one, right? So this one is a lot better. So we now have price closing below that and also hitting this level. Can we push back into it here, right? So we can buy the next candle. That's the only reasoning we have for a potential buy here. So let's see. No, we didn't get that. So now we are having price reversal potential here. The price just explodes to the upside. Right, so our buy option here didn't give us an entry, but price actually did follow that path to reverse. So can we now get a retest on this level on the day? So if you look at the daily, you can see that this level is broken, right? So can we get a retest? Also, we should keep an eye on 5450 there. So either we retest this or we retest 5450 for a continuation buy. Also, we have, I'll just put 5450 as our major level there, 5450 or even 5400, right? So the reason why I'm using these levels are because we have an engulfing on our play here. So we have an engulfing play here. So if you have an engulfing play and we're looking for that retracement, these levels are the ones that will provide a very, very strong, solid point for the retracement. And also, we can just have this level here in case price doesn't retrace or doesn't work with the engulfing and just decides to play on the break and retest here. We are still looking to sell into this level. And the next day is Thursday, so 2 days left for this particular week. So let's see how that plays on. So if price manages to use this level instead our buy levels, our buy areas is going to be here. And if price decides to work with the engulfing that we have, that I've explained, so you can see price is the fib level is at 500, and then on the 1 hour time frame, let's look for potential low pre-break there. So we have this low pre-breakout of this structure, right? So with that being said, this fib here might not be valid for us. So this setup here is not it's not very strong. So that's not something I would like to take. I would have loved it to be working with this fib and also working with a potential level. So let me just, if I delete this, so let me say I delete this fib, and we can see the last low here prior to breakout of this is also in conjunction or very close in close proximity with the 5450, right? So can we run into this level, also into 5450, and then continue to the upside? So if you're going to do that, I will enter here and my stop loss is going to be here, right? Just as 500. But I'm giving it two candles distance from my entry point. So let's see how that plays out. I'll be monitoring the 4 hour time frame also, just in case we are getting this entry. So that's basically it. No trade for us. Delete all of these levels. We have now run into our fib area. So what I'm looking for at this point is for price to totally roll over from this area, right? So on the daily, you can see how I would say I wouldn't say it's a bit frustrating, but when it comes to swing trading, and if you're looking at these particular time frames, which are larger time frames like the 4 hour, it's very difficult to actually see trades very easily. But as long as you know what you are doing and you know what you're actually looking for, then that's when you're going to win overall, right? So many people will look at this particular strategy and say that it's not what it's you're not getting enough trades, this and this, that and the other. But this actually shows how much discipline that goes into being a swing trader, right? So you have to be disciplined to know when you are looking for your trades, what you're looking for, and really take the trades that actually make sense to you, right? So going back into this, I have my level here, I have my fib, and price have rejected that level once. So can we reject that level again for potential sell? So if we start to sell from that level, our targets are going to be, right, my first target is going to be here. So sell from here, target here, and another target will be here if you continue that rollover. And also this is Friday. So let's see what happens. Uh Sorry guys. I was trying to pause this, but it's happened very quickly. Right, so this right here is your entry. This right here is your entry. So the second reaction from that level, which you have the first one and then the second one. So this is like a double top. It's not the best entries because this particular candle closed really strong. It's not the best, but it's still something. It's something. So with this, my target is going to go to this level. I will delete this one. So that's actually come to the end of the week. At the end of the week there. Let's check daily. So the daily also came in strong. Then if you look at the weekly time frame, the weekly time frame we're having that rejection of the fib area, and now it's also telling us that there is no momentum here to go higher, right? So that means our monthly play is still a very much solid here. So for the weekly, what I'm looking for, since I'm looking to sell this, what I'm looking for, we're already in on this rollover from the fib. So if the weekly can still run into this fib level, so let's say we get stopped out here, price still runs into this fib level, we can still look for another entry. But then what I'm majorly looking for is for price on the daily to close below this level and give us a rejection for a continuation sell. So back into the daily. So you can see how the daily closed. Very strong, right? Very strong closure. So this could mean a potential momentum continuation there. We're already 45 minutes into this video. So and I will be expecting to end it very soon. Hopefully we get more trades. Then let's play that song. Should I be moving to break even here? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. Shouldn't be moving to break even yet. Once you can get a break below this level, then we can go break even. That's the best area to go break even if you can get a break below this area. We'll have end of day here. A very strong continuation there on the daily. Can we break this level? I just need that level to break. We're not breaking that level. And we hit take profit. So that would be win. Sorry, one loss, one win, and one break even. And the win here is 3.1 R. 3.1. And we're in profit. We have about 10 minutes to go on this episode. So let's see if price can give us something meaningful. I'll go back to this, which is the end of the day. And what I'm looking for at this point is for price to run into a potentially 500 is good. Let me apply psychological level 500. 400 is good for just a pullback into that level and then a continuation drop. And if you continue to drop, our target is here. Let's see how that plays out. And we are going to toggle on the moving average because that's what we're using for this particular setup. I'm just looking for a rejection from 500 and also rejection from moving average. That didn't happen. And we have the continuation there. So the next day we still do the same thing. Very solid bearish energy here. So we still look for the same thing here into 5,300. So reaction from 5,300 and then the continuation down. Moving average still in play. Can we get a rejection from 5,300 and the moving average? The price rejecting the moving average without rejecting 5,300. And that was it. That was it for this particular day as well. No trades also. Now we'll be interested in trading this the next day because of this candle closure. So just wait to see what happens. Go in and play that on the 4 hour. One, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So you can see the last level that we had here was already taken in as a take profit area, right? But we are not interested in that level. Why? Because we already had an area here which we are looking to take profit. So it's up to you how you decide to do this. So if you see this particular area and you say, okay, I'm looking for price to break this area, but if you reject this area, I'm going to close. And you can see this price continue this momentum, so you can still hold. Is pretty much up to you. Now we are done with that week and we are into a new week. So so you can see this, see how price really respected what I pointed out, that price is going to roll over from this area even though we were moving bullish, and you can see that rollover just came in, right? Now we have a a very strong bearish closure of the weekly here, and we can expect price to now play a potential engulfing setup here because this is a very strong bearish engulfing. So can we play that engulfing setup? Go into the daily. Also looking at this is actually the last week of the month. So if price runs into this level first, right, bear that in mind. If price runs into this level first, then this sell setup is no longer valid. We have a daily here, right, and we're looking to sell. So if we are looking to sell here on the daily, the momentum here is still strong. I'll just go ahead and delete this. Okay, I'll leave that daily level there in case price breaks it. The momentum is still strong, and we have 5,200, right? 5,200 there. Can we reach this 5,200 and keep dropping? So if you keep dropping, we are most likely going to drop into this monthly, or let's say this level. So if you drop into this level, if you drop into that daily level, we monitor how price reacts from that, and we see if we can just hold price, just hold our entry into this level. But if that doesn't actually work out and price start to pull back on this weekly, areas that we are looking to sell on the pullback is here. Right, so we're looking to sell that area on the pullback, and if we draw a fib from here to here, and see it's nowhere near that pullback area. It's nowhere near that pullback area. I will look at that. You can see we had the breakout of this particular structural level, and this is our last low prior to this move that broke out from this level. And you can see we have 5,450 at that area. So that would be an area I'm looking to sell short if price manages to run back up to that level, right? That would be an area I'm looking to sell short on the low pre-break setup. But I'm still active on this, and I will be active on this level as well. So let's see how that plays out. So this is the potential first entry. So first entry invalidated. Right. So this is still good to sell. It's still good to sell. Still very much good to sell. Mm, no. So it's still it's this is a very very good setup. This is a very very good setup. But what I can see here is that the daily has already closed. Right. So the daily have already closed. We are rolled over into a new day. So for that reason, it doesn't work for me. Right. It doesn't work for me because we are now into a new day. For a very solid reaction, though. Very very solid reaction. That level. I will reference this level for a sell tomorrow. Why? Because I'm seeing a solid shooting star setup here. Also, this is an inside bar day, but I think the shooting star is very very good. So I will not take a low pre-break setup here because this is an inside bar day. What I will do is I will look for price to stay below this level. So as long as price can stay below this level, then we can get that sell setup to the downside. And an option there, area to sell will be here. So look what price is doing. Price is now also maintaining that moving average and also the level there and a very very strong momentum sell off. So this is very very good for me. I like this setup. But the candle is so big. So what I'm looking at is we have lower high here, we have lower high here, we have lower high here. Yes, 8 o'clock. So where I will be looking to enter, I will look to enter at this level. Right, so this level here, which is the support level that is broken. So I will look to sell that level. Right, cool. And then my targets will be here. We'll go ahead and remove this. So this is going to be our last thread of this particular episode. And that time is 5. It works for us. Be active. So what we failed to recognize is that this is actually a new week. Right? We're actually in a new week, but still the setup is still valid, right? Even though we're in a new week, the setup is still valid, very very much valid. I think I made a mistake. Okay, we are still in that week. Sorry, we are still in that particular week. So let's see what price does. Entering into a new month shortly. and we get stopped out and price start moving in our direction. You can see that the momentum here is dead. The momentum here is totally dead. So here we have loss of -1. And that will be that for us on this particular episode. So at the end of the month, because this is just 1 month. This is 1 month of price action where we actually didn't get a lot to a lot to work with, right? We didn't get a lot to work with. So at the end of the month, we actually able to make 2.1 R. We were able to make 2.1 R at the end of the month, which is very which is very good, right? 2.1 R at the end of the month is very, very good as well. And given that this is just one pair, right? Given that this is just one pair, making 2.1 R is still a very good um number for the month. So let's say you are trading um 4 to 5 pairs, like I said in the last video. So you are making 2.1 R on this or for the month, and then other pairs you manage to get some decent results as well. So you might end up closing the month with, let's say, 5, 6, 7 R, or you might still end up closing the month in loss. It just depends on how everything plays out on that particular month and how you are actually able to work with what price is giving you, right? So that comes to the end of our video, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you very much.